When I was 20 years old, I came home from college for my summer vacation and was horrified to find that I was still a virgin. What prevented me from ending my virginity was not only that I was extremely modest, I also lived in South Africa, a country that was puritanical, even Victorian. A place where a man going out on the first several dates with a new girlfriend did not have sex with her. The date on which a man had a 50% chance of having sex with his girlfriend was on their wedding night. And even then, a lot of begging was necessary. After several date failures during that summer, someone suggested to me that I should take Marla on a date. Marla was different. From the moment I picked her up at her parents' apartment till we got to my car in the parking lot, she was holding my hand. The slut. I said to myself, tonight I'm going to get laid. But how does a modest man get naked for the first time with a woman that he's never dated before? I don't know. I pondered this dilemma as Marla and I drove to my favorite restaurant. There we had a delicious and very romantic dinner together. After dinner, as we drove home from McDonald's, we were again holding hands. I had no sooner parked the car when Marla took my hand and plunged it down the inside of her blouse. Bearing in mind how inexperienced I was, at first I thought, maybe she's dropped her front door key. And she wants me to look for it. I may have been young, but I was not dumb. So it took me less than 5 minutes to realize what she was doing. Have any of you heard of the medical term, the hand-breast-Schwanzenheimer-North reflex? I thought not. The moment my hand touched her breast, my Schwanzenheimer pointed north. This caused the masculine part of my brain to start asking intelligent, macho questions like, what the fuck do I do now? I wanted to stimulate her with my other hand, but because my car was a small mini Minor, every time I turned to try and touch her, my shoulder sounded the darn horn. After sitting there for an hour with my hand on her breasts, with my Victorian side of me arguing with the sexual side of me whether to slide my hand lower down, I didn't. But eventually, my arm went to sleep. My penis got bored. But the pain that I was feeling down there was so intense, I was sure I had gangrene. And that was as far as I got with Marla that night. Once again, my modesty had gotten in the way, but that Saturday afternoon, she invited me to her place to meet 3 of her girlfriends. And after we'd sat there chatting for a couple of hours, I got up to leave, and Carly, who was this very attractive blue-eyed blonde, offered to walk me out to the stairs. And as we got to the top of the stairs, we paused, and I casually put my hand on the banister. Before I knew what was happening, she stepped forward and began rubbing her crotch on my hand. At first I thought, maybe she's itchy. Because guys rub their crotches on banisters all the time. Don't we? It's a plus if there happens to be a hand there. Have you heard of the banister crotch penis reflex? I see some of you have heard of that one. So I said to Carly, would you like to come out with me tonight? You would? Great! What time is it now? 6:10? I'll pick you up at 6:20. At 6:25, the two of us were sitting in the back seat of my Mini Minor making out. And which wasn't easy, because for those of you who don't know just how small the back seat of a Mini Minor is, doesn't the name of the car Mini Minor tell you something? It's like two toilet seats next to each other, only less comfortable. But I was happy because Carly was content to sit back and let me handle the easy part of the seduction, and I let her handle the hard part. What? We soon realized that two people could not have sex in the back seat of a Mini Minor at the same time. So we went to the beach, but would you believe it? She got sand up her strudelstunker. We even found a periwinkle shell up there. I don't know how it got there. When a woman gets sand up there, guys, believe me, you'll never get it out of there no matter how long you lick. The next night, I'm trying to tell a story here. The next night, I was determined to lose my virginity. But the problem that we had was that we both lived in apartments with our parents, so we couldn't meet there. So that night, I borrowed my father's car, and after we went to a movie, Carly took me to a cul-de-sac next to her parents' apartment. This cul-de-sac was dark and had a lot of bushes growing around it. I was about to lose my virginity in her dark cul-de-sac when a cop shone his 800-volt flashlight into the car. He was nice enough to tell us to move on, so we slowly rearranged our clothes and we climbed back into the front seat. All the time I watched him head back to his cruiser and drive off. Now there's an old Yiddish proverb that says, when the penis gets hard, the brain gets soft. So I thought of this idea that at the time I thought was brilliant. I parked the car on the other side of the cul-de-sac. The cop would never think of looking there. I was about to lose my virginity in her cul-de-sac, facing the other way, when the cop appeared with his 1200-volt flashlight this time. At this point, I knew we were in trouble. I want to just inform you quickly before I tell you what happened about a strange phenomenon that affects men when they're going out with women on their first couple of dates. Men may perform all kinds of tricks for their chicks with their dicks, but in the presence of a new girlfriend, they will never pass gas. When a man farts in the presence of another man, that's called communicating. When a man passes gas in front of a new girlfriend, that's called contraception. So that night, I had accumulated enough gas to fill the lower 30 feet of my intestine. And when I and my anus saw that cop's face, and my anus had a better view than I did, my anus said, "I give up." and let out a monster that would have leveled a mobile home park. I'm convinced that this heroic action by my anus saved my ass from jail. Because when that cop heard my better half, he stifled a smile, and then he said, "Get out of here." You'll be proud to know that the next night, Carly helped me end my virginity in the backseat of my Mini Minor. And how we did that is something that my Victorian modesty prevents me from telling you. Thank you.